Welcome everybody to the Major Monday, which is from now on also the weekly update, simply because I got sick of writing the same thing over and over and over again, and video format is a great way to present all of this anyway. I also get more comfortable in doing those videos. My inner perfectionist still comes out at times, but I simply treat this as if it's a live stream, so I only got one take. And if I fuck it up, I fuck it up. So let's start right away. We have a close below the 0.5 as mentioned in the live stream on Saturday. This is this increases probabilities for the range low. And we have also a break of structure here, several daily closes below, also weekly close below. And as mentioned on Saturday, I would want to see several daily bodies below this low, and we have seen that. And so higher time frame structure is turning more and more bearish. This doesn't mean we can't long, right? So I've this long prepared, a 50% limit order is ready. I really like that level because many majors are lining up as we see in this video. And so 50% limit order makes sense to me. Willing to risk up to 2% on this trade. Also ETH with some kind of similar level. Very nice level here, 3K, maybe losing 3K into the level, making everybody who's only looking at psychological numbers, not at the charts, like, oh, ETH is losing 3K, they're going to panic, they're going to sell, which is exactly what we want and what whales want to buy and to long. And this could line up for a pretty nice counter trend trade. So also here, higher time frame scalp until proven otherwise. And if we now look at majors, you will see that we have great confluence for this level. We have the range high for USDTD coming up. I don't need to refine anything here. It's simply this is supply, and it's the range high. And so everything that happens within here favors longs. And now look at this. Everything is lining up pretty much. BTC, ETH, Tether dominance. Don't expect perfection. This might overshoot a little bit or stuff like that. So stay flexible. But as said, everything that happens up here makes longs, or this area is great confluence for longs. Similar story on USDC. We are in supply. Obviously, we're making higher highs. We closed above the 0.5 here. And we have this major swing high coming up. So this whole area here is supply. This favors longs already, but obviously BTC ETH are not in their levels, so I don't long anything here. But as said, as long as we are within this area here, longs are favored. If we can close above this, the next higher targets are way higher for USDC, and this could also line up with USDC getting a bigger share of the pie in general. This may be due to Tether not backed, or just FUD or whatever. But I think USDC is gonna play a very important role in this bear market. And in general, who knows, maybe CBDCs in disguise. But as said, I expect USDC to gain a big share of the market. We have BTCD breaking the local structure down, which could also line up for altcoins performing a bit better against BTC. And if you compare those two targets, we have 25% here, and we have for a bounce 41% on ETH, which would be outperformance, obviously. And so this chart could tell us already that ETH is going to outperform BTC in the not so distant future, or altcoins in general. But for now, look at all those ETH related majors. It's a downtrend. It's making lower highs and lower lows. We haven't closed below this 0.5 so far. We are still in this demand here, but at the same time, big levels waiting down here, and probably great confluence for the longs we talked about. Same on ETH BTC, downtrend, not even the trend line is broken, horizontals. Everything is still pointing down. And yeah, look at this. Wouldn't it be nice to have a big third drive into this? And if you measure this, it's like 25 days, 26 days. And so this would bring us somewhat to late November. No rocket science here, but if there is a third drive into the level, would be great confluence for the longs. Then total in demand right now, already at the lower end of this demand. Total 2 in the demand again, in the refined area. It was only wicked, so I consider it still valid. And total 2, maybe perfect confluence for the longs. Nuke into this refined area, also only wicked, and this whole big chunk here is demand. So also if we overshoot, as said, this is no perfection, so don't get scared just because we overshoot the green area a little bit. It could also react from here, right? It's this whole area here is demand. We have a consolidation and we have a big move out of here. So everything we do within here is just refinement, and it doesn't need to be perfect in order to work. And as said, could be great confluence into the 0.5 of this here, into the supply, but also here structure is breaking down. So we trade against higher time frame structure if we take this, but obviously with a reversal edge, we always like trade against the local trend and trade against the local structure. Doesn't mean we can't trade it, just simply means we should be aware that this is breaking. And why would you target anything like crazy 10k, whatever people talk about, if we have a lot of supply above us? And so we trade the range. The 0.5 is a very good target, and if we can go higher, that's great, but I don't gamble on a breakout as usual. Okay, so much to crypto. Plan is clear. 2 nice longs coming up. Limit order for BTC ready. I'm gonna execute ETH manually, no limit order, because I hope for getting in a little lower, scaling in a little better. But yeah, plan is clear. I'm ready. I hope you too. I'm got stopped at this SPX short at break even here, and then we nuked again, but we can't really close below the 0.5. We have big absorption wick at the lows, so I think range highs are somewhat likely. Maybe a sweep of those highs. We will see. No pressure to get into those simply into this short, simply because I have basically 2 other stock shorts running. Nvidia stop at break even, bit more defensive, reacted from this demand. Now we will see over this week if we break structure down or not. Willing to get stopped at break even. And on Google, I'm a little more aggressive. My stop is not at break even yet. Maybe gonna do that once we reach those gaps. And I also treat those as swing trades. And the reality of swing trading simply is that you're gonna round trip some gains. And I mean, it's at 1 hour or something. So yeah, to me, it makes no sense to TP here already. I simply gonna be patient. And yeah, if my main thesis plays, this could be a very nice higher time frame swing short. Time will tell. As said, I'm relaxed, willing to round trip if necessary. Let's have a look at gold real quick. Gold is, we're filled on the short. Yeah, retest of this high, refined level here, started to scale here. Would love to add a bit more. I'm now at 1% risk, up to 2% would be nice. Still having the rest of this higher time frame trade running, so this is basically a hedge. Should we like break out from here, that's fine. The short is covered. And should we go down from here, my trailing stop is here, and the short hedges the long. But I've already TP'd quite aggressive on this 65% up here and on the way up already. And the short-term play is completely TP'd. And now I'm trying to catch a higher time frame swing short. Yeah, and probably nobody wants to talk about this, but I really like soybeans and how the USA is buying soybeans from China and all that stuff. And all that happened at demand here. Let's have a quick look at like the structure of soybeans ever since they invented it. We ranged pretty much here, and we retested the highs here, and we created some kind of new range, and we are back at this demand, back at the point of control. And I thought like, okay, the trend is shifting. Let's take a long here, and so far it's working kind of nice. And you see also soybeans can move quite aggressive. And a similar trade I did like this is wheat. Also wheat, you might laugh now, but wheat can also move quite aggressive. It's an asset class like every other asset class. They invented it somewhat in the 70s, and then it ranged for like 30 years or something. Then we broke out, and we somewhat are back in this range. And yeah, so the thing is, I'm not entering right now. We are at demand, so I could technically, but then where do I put my stop loss? It's kind of pretty wide. So I wait for this shift in trend. And so far it's not really convincing here with this wick and now this like another big wick and only this small body, or like half of the candle is only the body. So let's see how today develops and this week, and then I can enter, put my stop loss below here, and you see it's a way tighter stop loss than covering all of this. And for that I simply wait for a shift of trend, and then I can target maybe this big FVG here on the supply. So we will see, just another asset class, and it's moving a bit acyclical to everything else. So if you only play one market, all your positions are going to go up and all your positions are going to go down most of the time, not all the time obviously. But yeah, so this is why I like playing those as well, even though probably nobody cares about wheat and soybeans. But I'm gonna talk about them anyway, because I simply also want to show it's not just crypto, it's not just stocks, there's like commodities, and there's so many things you can trade. Yeah, yeah, so nice that I reminded myself. Also, TLT looks at a great spot to buy. I got this hint from somebody in the group last week, and it looks at a good spot, like for a great RR. We're breaking this local trend. Yeah, let's remove the VWAP here. We are at the point of control, and it could be a great hedge for a recessionary environment. So I would consider this short risk as well. So this is also a reason why I was a bit more defensive on the SPX, simply because I have some risk here as well. And best case, it's not a given, but best case, this is going to hedge the risk into a bear market, into a recessionary environment as well. Yeah, so that's the weekly update, the major Monday. This is the new format. You see crypto, TradFi, everything just at once. As said, I think it makes more sense to present all of this in a video. Gonna be every Monday from now on. And yeah, I'm gonna make an extra video. I thought about putting it into here as well, but I talked about this in the live stream already. Where is it? Come on, here it is. I talked about this in the live stream already, the world ahead 2026 from The Economist. In the live stream, I just give my unfiltered raw thoughts. I'm gonna prepare a video which is a little more structured, not so much ranting around, even though I like ranting around simply because, as said, my inner perfectionist takes over once I like try to make a perfect video. But yeah, let's see, new challenge, so give it a try. Other than that, the plan is clear. I wish everybody a great week ahead, and until next time, bye bye.